I remember that rainy evening as if it were yesterday. The streets were wet, and the sound of raindrops hitting the ground echoed with every step I took. She stood in front of me, her umbrella tilted slightly, shielding her face from the drizzle but not from me. Her eyes were filled with something I could not fully understand. Pain, guilt, or maybe a quiet determination. She whispered goodbye, and before I could even process her words, she turned and walked away into the storm. I didn't run after her. My feet felt heavy, as if nailed to the ground, and my heart seemed to stop beating for a moment. I watched her fading figure disappear into the curtain of rain, and in that instant, I knew something inside me had broken forever. The silence she left behind was louder than the thunder rolling above our heads. For days, I replayed that evening in my mind. Every detail, the smell of wet soil, the sound of her shoes splashing in puddles, the way her hair stuck to her face, burned itself into my memory. I kept asking myself what I could have said or done differently. But no matter how many times I imagined chasing after her, holding her hand, and begging her to stay, the truth always came back to me: she had made her choice. The house felt empty without her. Her laughter, her little notes on the fridge, even the way she used to hum while cooking, all gone. I wandered from room to room, searching for traces of her, but every corner only reminded me of the void she left behind. The rain that night had washed away not only the streets but also the life we had built together. Friends tried to comfort me, telling me time would heal everything. But time, instead of healing, only deepened the scar. Each day brought back fragments of her perfume lingering in the closet, her favorite mug sitting untouched, the photo of us smiling on our trip by the seaside. These memories, once sweet, had now become unbearable. One evening, I returned to the same spot where she had left me. The rain was falling again, almost as if mocking me. I stood there for hours, waiting for something. Maybe a sign, maybe her return, or maybe just closure. But nothing happened. The world kept moving, cars splashing through puddles, people rushing with umbrellas, while I stood frozen in my past. I began to realize that love doesn't always end with anger or betrayal. Sometimes, it simply dissolves into silence and distance. She hadn't left with harsh words or slammed doors. She had left with a quiet goodbye that hurt far more than any fight could. And that was the cruelest part. I never knew the real reason why. I wrote letters to her, letters I never sent. In them, I poured out every thought, every regret, every unanswered question. I told her how much I still loved her, how I would have forgiven anything, how I would have rebuilt everything from the ground up if she had only asked. But those letters stayed locked in a drawer, yellowing with time. Some nights, I dreamt of her return. In those dreams, she knocked on my door, drenched in rain, and whispered that she had made a mistake. I would hold her close, feeling her heartbeat against mine, and everything would be whole again. But every morning, I woke up alone, and the emptiness hit me like the first drop of rain before a storm. The seasons changed, but my heart did not. I tried to move on, to meet new people, to fill the void, but nothing worked. It was as though she had taken a part of me that I could never reclaim. I was incomplete, like a book missing its final chapter, left unfinished. Now, when I look back at that rainy evening, I understand it was the moment life split into two parts, before and after her. Before her, everything was warm, alive, and full of dreams. After her, everything turned gray, hollow, and uncertain. That one goodbye had rewritten my entire existence. I don't hate her for leaving. I don't even blame her anymore. Maybe she found a happiness I couldn't give, or maybe she was running from her own battles I never knew. Whatever the reason, I hope the rain that night washed away her doubts and gave her peace, even if it drowned me in sorrow. And so, I stand here now, years later, still remembering that rainy evening. The truth is clear, there's no way back. The roads are washed away, the bridges burned by silence. All I have left are the echoes of raindrops, the ghost of her smile, and the haunting memory of the moment she walked away, leaving me forever in the storm.